Hello everyone, I'm Madhura L from First Sem Honda section. Today's subject is chemistry and the topic is corrosion. Corrosion types and prevention. What is corrosion? It is basically defined as a natural process that causes the transformation of pure metals into undesirable substances which they react with substances like water or air. This reaction causes damage and disintegration of the metal starting from the portion of the metal exposed to the environment and spreading to the entire bulk of the metal. Corrosion is usually an undesirable phenomenon since it negatively affects the desirable properties of the metal. For example, iron is known to have good tensile strength and rigidity. However, when subjected to rusting, iron objects become brittle, flaky, and structurally unsound. On the other hand, corrosion is a diffusion controlled process and it mostly occurs on exposed surface. Factors affecting corrosion. First one, exposure of the metals to air containing gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, SO3, etc. Second point, exposure of metals to moisture, especially salt water. Third point, presence of impurities like salt, for example NaCl. Fourth point, temperature. An increase in temperature increases corrosion. Fifth point, nature of the first layer of oxide formed. Some oxides like Al2O3 form an insoluble protecting layer that can prevent further corrosion. Others like rust easily crumble and expose the rest of the metal. Sixth point, presence of acid in the atmosphere. Acids can easily accelerate the process of corrosion. Let us look into the types of corrosion. First one, dry or chemical corrosion. Second one, wet or electrochemical corrosion. Defining dry corrosion. Dry corrosion is a complex process. However, it's essentially defined as a scientific reaction where materials like metals oxides by reacting with oxygen or sulfur in their environment forming a corrosion layer. This process is typically expedited by high temperatures. Key features of dry corrosion. Dry corrosion has some distinct features to look for, such as typically occurs at high temperatures, results in the formation of corrosion layer, involve an oxidation reaction. Examples for dry corrosion. Take for instance the gradual discoloration and diminishing of a copper penny's shiny surface. This is a prime example of dry corrosion in action. The penny's exterior over time reacts with the oxygen and sulfur compounds in the air, resulting in the formation of a layer of copper oxides and sulfides. Defining wet corrosion. Wet corrosion refers to corrosive damage that occurs in the presence of a liquid medium, often water. It can further be classified into two main types, uniform and localized. Uniform corrosion. This refers to corrosion that occurs evenly across the entire surface of a material. Localized corrosion. This form of corrosion is concentrated in specific areas of a material, leading to substantial damage in those regions. Example for wet corrosion. Consider a steel beam in a marine environment. The high salinity, humidity and presence of oxygen could lead to heavy wet corrosion of the beam if not properly insulated and maintained. This eventually could result in substantial structural damage, a common problem in marine constructions. Concluding, you must always consider the risk of wet corrosion wherever metals and moisture coexist. Understanding wet corrosion and its implications is a critical aspect of material science and indeed all of engineering. Methods for prevention of corrosion. The rusting of iron can be prevented by greasing, painting, galvanizing, anodizing or oiling the surface. These methods can be classified into following categories. First one, galvanization. Galvanized metal is coated with a thin layer of zinc to protect it against corrosion. This zinc oxides when it is exposed to air, creating a protective coating on the metal surface. Second one, alloying. It is the method of improving the properties of a metal by mixing the metal with another metal or non-metal. When iron is alloyed with chromium and nickel in stainless steel is obtained. Stainless steel does not rust at all. Painting. Rusting of iron can be easily prevented by coating the surface with paint which protects iron from air and moisture. Fifth point and the last point, greasing or oiling. When some grease oil is applied to the surface of an iron object, then air and moisture cannot come in contact with it and hence rusting is prevented. And this is it for all today, and thank you everyone for watching.